Ladies and gentlemen, chess enthusiasts, boom friends, and you, dear stranger who accidentally clicked on this video. Welcome! My name is Huvi and this video is about how my team is doing in the Amsterdam Chess League. So, we are playing in the division 4E against the teams that you can see somewhere on the screen, probably here, but I'm not sure yet, we'll see. A team win gives you 2 points, a draw gives you 1 point, and 2 best teams are promoting to the higher division. I prepared for you 6 out of 8 games that we played in the second round, because we treated the first round as a warm-up, which we lost, and I definitely did my part in that disaster. But enough of that, let's get to what really matters, grab some popcorn, coffee or tea, and let's begin. Let's start with the bang to keep you watching until the very end of this video. So first I'm going to show you insane, absolutely insane game by team, where you are feeling like you're jumping into the waterfall only to get launched out a second later by a geyser. So everything started with move e4, c5, we have the Sicilian defense, knight f3, knight c6, d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, e6. Here we have the Taiman variation of the Sicilian. So here are some more decent moves. Bishop e3, knight f6, here knight takes c6, b takes c6, knight c3, bishop f4, bishop d3, d6, queen f3, bishop b7, bishop g5, h6, queen h3. And here is the small trap by the opponent for the first time, because if you take the bishop, you're of course losing the rook, so you cannot do it. So team played queen e7, then you have bishop going back, and here every human being would castle. Doesn't matter if you long castle, if you short castle, or just castle, that's the most important. But the best move was actually d5, keeping the equalness. To being equal, let's say like this, because if you make the castle what team played, his opponent could play actually this, what didn't happen, and just go here, and it's +1 for his opponent. I mean, I understand why his opponent didn't want to go for this position, because as you can see, every piece would simply targeting the king very soon, but probably, according to the computer, white is faster. But I don't know if I would play this with white, honestly. I mean, probably I would, and I would have to if I would have this position, but yeah, I don't know if I would go for this position. So yeah, his team's opponent didn't go for it. He also long castle, and now king b8, queen g3, targeting the g7 pawn. Now g5, knight a4 to exchanging the bishops. That's what happened. Knight h5 attacking the queen. Queen f3, knight attacking the bishop. g3 to letting the bishop be taken, but team decided to go back on the g6 square. Some rotations, doubling the rooks by team's opponent. Rook h d1, d5, e takes d5, c takes d5, queen e3, and here team should play queen b4, but instead he played first d4, queen e2, and now queen b4, and this is completely losing for team. It's actually +4.5 for his opponent, and if you want to solve it, why? I'm going to wait 5 seconds. If you need more, you can just pause the video. So yeah, basically bishop takes g6, what team's opponent found. So you don't want to be with piece down, so you are taking the knight. And now queen e5, what team's opponent also found. So now king a8, and now the mistake by team's opponent, bishop takes f7. What was better here was actually taking rook with the pawn. You cannot take with the rook because you're losing. If you take with the queen, you're also losing. This is how it should be, but how it was bishop f7, and now another mistake by team, rook h f8. At least he went out from this capture, so this is fine, but yeah, here he's just losing, yeah, actually 3 points less, and then you can just exchange everything, and it will be you cannot win with 3 points less. So yeah, but his opponent actually didn't play it. His opponent play now rook takes d4, rook takes d4, rook takes d4, and queen takes a2. We have some counter attack from team, and now queen f6, queen a1 check, king d2, queen a5 check, very important move, and here king should go to c1 to make the draw out of it, but he didn't want to draw, he played for the win, so here we have c3. e5 was a mistake, a terrible mistake, because here simply team's opponent can play rook d7 and this bishop is protected. Now this queen can go away and do some dirty stuff. His opponent play actually rook d3, which is losing because now queen c7 targeting the bishop with no protection, so this bishop is lost. So here we have the kamikaze attack, attacks absolutely nothing, just the air, and yeah, h6, very important move to make the king escape if there would be a check on 8 file. So queen takes h6, queen takes f7, and here we have the piece up. It's already completely winning for team, and it didn't last any longer actually. Here I have f3, e4, f takes e4, and here creme de la creme, queen a2 check. His opponent wanted to go for the journey, but this journey lasts for one move, and here we have checkmate. Alright, the next game I'm going to show you is the surgical precision by Sorup. He didn't give his opponent any chances. It all started with the English opening. We have the symmetrical 2 knights variation, have some decent moves. As always in the beginning it's like classical 90 plus 15, I believe. And here we have the first mistake actually. So Sorup jumped into the e4 square and his opponent took it. Sorup took it, and now the only move was actually d5. The only move here was knight e5, because yeah, now you're exchanging the pieces. But what was actually on the board was knight to d2 attacking the e4 pawn. But yeah, that was actually Sorup's idea, so now we have the f5. Amazing move because bishop is running out of space. But here is another mistake by Sorup opponent, the castle. And here Sorup's opponent is simply losing the bishop, but maybe he doesn't like bishops like me, so he liked to sacrifice them. And this is what happened. So knight took the e4, pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn, and pawn b6. Queen d2, queen e7, bishop f3, bishop b7, rook d1, rook d8, queen c2, bishop a8, going out from the danger. There we want to move this queen probably somewhere closer to the king to make some threats. So now this bishop is protected, it's all good. And here we have rook d3, queen h4, threatening king. Not directly, but you will see, you will see. Here Sorup's opponent actually... So first rook went to d3 square, just to next move come back on d1 square. And here we have the Sorup, queen h6, queen c3, protecting the pawn on e3, knight's going back to e7, queen c2, knight f5, targeting the pawn with double power on e3. Rook protects it, but here we have fork, rook takes, queen takes, king g1, and here creme de la creme, another one, rook takes f3, or should I say let's keep it simple. So rook takes f3, and that will be it actually. Alright guys, game number 3. This game Magda was playing white. It all started with e4, c5 and c3. Alapin, Alapin. And actually both of the players were very good with the opening until move 7. Magda, everything was perfect with the book actually. So a really top preparation here or thinking. Here you have e6. Some more decent moves, and move queen c2 was a mistake, -1. The best move was rook to e1, but honestly I'm not that good to tell you why it's the best. Yeah, maybe you have the battery here, but so let's go on. Queen c2, queen c7, c4, exchanging the pawns, rook c8, and here we have a3. a3 is a big mistake. What was the best was actually knight c3. Here you have the miss from Magda's opponent. Queen b6, queen d3, bishop c5, knight c3, and here is big mistake by Magda's opponent. Bishop to d4. Now, creme de la creme, like from Swift-Mora Gambit, knight takes knight, pawn takes knight, and now bishop. What was better here actually was bishop protecting the e5 square, because then we can just double everything on this king, and yeah, it's really hard to defend. But here we have knight takes d4, queen takes d4, queen g3, queen take e5, brilliant move, bishop to f4. When you took the bishop on e2, you're losing the queen. so he went back to f6. Now here we have the bishop to d6, preventing from king escaping with castle. Knight d4, bishop d3, knight f5, and here is just simply taking it. Queen take on f5, and here we have the rook e1. Queen is giving herself for free, but that wasn't the best. Magda had the mate in 3 here. If you want to pause the video and find it for yourself, go ahead. I'm going to wait 3 more seconds, and let's go farther on. Alright, I hope that was enough. What was the best was actually, of course, taking the pawn on g7, because yeah, if queen takes, you're going back, and then you're taking this one. If rook goes here, you're just giving the checkmate. So yeah, basically like this. What happened was taking the rook, pawn d takes e, bishop e5, rook f8, queen takes the g7 pawn, king globetrotter. We'll have one more after this game, but yeah, so here it starts. King to d7, Magda went to h7, taking another pawn, rook c5, queen g7, attacking the rook again, rook from f to c8, now we are taking with the check f7, king c6, taking another pawn on e6, and here the Magda's opponent resigned. Alright guys, so now we have the game 4. I told you before about being a globetrotter or about surgical precision. So actually this game played by Ben and his opponent was a combination of 2 of these things. And yeah, let's see how it went. So e4, c5, we have another Sicilian. Ben was playing with black. Here we have knight f3, d6, d4, the open Sicilian, classical variation, my bad, sorry guys. Knight c6, knight takes c6, b takes c6, bishop g5, e6, e5, d takes e5, queen takes d8, queen takes the queen, king takes queen, and here long castle, king c7, and here's the mistake, bishop takes f6. He wanted to ruin the pawn structure. Unfortunately for Ben's opponent, that wasn't good for him, because he's giving up the bishop in the really open game. Here we have g3, f5, f3, bishop b7, a3, bishop e7, bishop e2, rook d8, rook a d8, rook h f1, rook takes d1, knight takes d1, rook d8, knight f2, here you have the check, bishop g5, kings go back, rook d2, rook e1, bishop e2, very sneaky move, knight to d1, bishop go back on h6, here we have b4, e4, f takes e4, f takes e4, bishop c4, rook takes h2, rook f1, f5, bishop takes e6, e3, knight takes e3, bishop takes e3, and here Ben is simply winning a piece. Rook f2, exchanging the rooks, but that was like a must-have, otherwise you're losing bishop. So now we have just 2 bishops against 1, and 3 pawns against 2. They are disconnected, but with this precision of Ben's, what he played with these bishops, and so here we start the king's globetrottering. So king d6, bishop d3, king d5, bishop g6, king d4, bishop d3, king e3, bishop g6, king d2, a4, bishop e5 check, king a3, king c3, and here a5. And the last move of the game, bishop to d6, because you cannot stop taking this pawn. Yeah, then you're just without one piece. So yeah, that will be this from Ben's game. Let's jump to the next one. Alright guys, another game I'm going to show you will be Roman's also insane game, actually that insane that I don't know if I would be able to help you describe it, what I think about it, because all of the computer moves that were saying that it's a best move, I wouldn't play them either. So yeah, let's see please. So it all started with d4 Indians game, so here we have the London actually. Let's see what happened. So here we have the King's Indian defense. It's very good against the London actually. I hate playing against it myself. But lately I learned a bit how to counter it. So it's not that bad anymore. But yeah, it's honestly I don't like playing against this. Here we have c4. I'm never playing this in my own London because I like to have this file open. But it's up to preferences. Actually this move is usually played in London. But yeah, me honestly I'm not playing it. So here we have the castle, knight c2, c3, bishop g4, h3, exchanging bishop for the knight, queens take back. Here we have knight c6, a3, rook e8, bishop d3, and here was the mistake because here we have e5. e5 what Roman found, but here the continuous actually bishop g5, and here Roman played h6 to letting for the all of exchanges. What was best here was taking the pawn. Cannot take back because it's pinned, but what Roman probably didn't want to let was jumping the knight here or here. Actually both moves are fine and it looks like you're losing a piece, but actually you're not, because you can counter attack with your knight. So crazy stuff here that show you just to show you. So yeah, here we take like this, like this, like this, 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 and here according to the computer it's 2 + 1 for black, so this is amazing. And yeah, honestly I don't know, it's like insane stuff, but yeah. What happened was actually h6, after h6 bishop takes the f6, queen takes f6, queen takes f6, bishop takes f6, and knight to d5, targeting the bishop with the fork. The best move by Roman, bishop to d8, because he is protecting the fork from the other side now. Very nice move. And here another mistakes by Roman's opponent. The woman decided to go castle, and here we can just simply take the pawn, take another pawn. Yeah, we are up the pawn. Knight to d5, c6. Here we have knight to b4, bishop goes back, b3, a5, and here f4. Roman took the knight. The best move actually is 3.7, like minus 3.7 for black, because here we can play bishop h4, of course. Bishop h4, and you're losing the 2 pieces for a rook, so usually you don't want to do it. But in this case it's working, I don't know why, but don't ask me. I'm not a grandmaster, I'm just a funny guy who is playing chess for fun with friends. So yeah, bishop e5, a takes b4, and here f5. 5 is a bit too ambitious, I would say, because yeah, here you have g4 and everything is opening. Still not that bad, actually it's better for black, but it's not that good like before. Here exchanging the rooks, and here taking g4. This move is a mistake. I understand what Roman wanted to do. He wanted to attack this one, and yeah, getting a pawn in his mind, but unfortunately here we have a rook on e6 targeting everything. This rook is so monstrous, he is insane. So yeah, here we have the rook a1 check, king g2, rook a2 check, king f3, and here you are taking the pawn, but unfortunately Roman's opponent is taking 2 pawns, protecting another pawn, king g7, and rook h7 makes Roman losing another pawn, king f6, rook takes b7, bishop to c3, rook to b6, and last blunder of the game, bishop to e5, losing another pawn, rook a1, b4, rook f1, king g2, rook c1, bishop f5, and here Roman resigned. It was a crazy game. Holy moly. Alright guys, so here we are at the last game, my game, the game where I was feeling like I'm a chess god, only to feel like I don't know how to play chess in one game. But let me show you what I mean. It all started with d4, I was white, so here we have, of course, London. And not just a London, the Jobava London. I wanted to try something new, so my opponent knew how to react to this. So here we have a6, knight f3, knight f6, e3, bishop e4, targeting the king, bishop d3, knight d7, and here I short castle. Castle from both sides actually, h6, rook to e8, knight to e2, c5. Here I played c3, bishop is going back, and here what I said in the beginning, I thought I'm like a chess god, because here I was like, I'm so smart, I'm going to take this pawn, if he will take here, I will sacrifice my bishop, and then I will fork, and it's all good. So yeah, this is what I thought, and this is actually what I played, but as you can see that was blunder, because here you can go here, I'll go here, but then I'm losing a piece for free. What he played though was my variation, so I was actually pretty glad that he didn't win the piece from me, and we are on the same page, let's say like this. Here I was thinking also to go here, but then I'm like, no, it's going back, he's going to stop it all. I'm like, I don't want this, so I want to have some more chances. Here's some rotations. I saw that he want to make the spin, so that's why I put my rook over here. The better was actually putting the knight here, but I decided to go with the bishop. I want to trade this bishop. That was the idea, but then I'm like, okay, let's see. I want to keep this bishop as much as possible, and we'll see what will happen. So he took the queen, I took with the pawn, because my structure is great now. I'm also opening my rook. I'm like, this is perfect, this is all I wanted actually. So he went here targeting my knight, I went up front. Here, knight targeting my bishop. And here I played a rook to c7. He went back with the bishop, and here I realized I'm losing my bishop. There is nothing I can do about it. So I'm like, okay, so if I'm losing a piece, then I'm not losing this for free at least. Here I played another blunder, knight to d3. My idea was to make the space for the bishop if he's not going to take it, but if he is going to take it, my knight will be feeling amazing. He cannot be like taken from this place. What I missed was actually he took it, I took the bishop, so it's no longer protect the knight. He of course took the rook, I'm taking the knight, and now I'm losing an exchange. So it's not that bad, it's still playable, but what I missed was actually knight going back, targeting my rook. I'm going here, and here I get e4. Well, as you can see, it's a mistake. What was better here was actually just taking, but who would play this honestly? If you see that you're winning the piece, just win the piece. That was the moment I was feeling like I don't know how to play chess honestly. And yeah, I was going for the cigarette, and I'm like, I don't want to be here anymore. I was like, what can you do? It's not, I'm playing for the team, right? So I need to fight till the end. That's what I was doing actually. So yeah, here we have the check. Knight to g5, king to g6. Here I was thinking, I'm like, I'm losing this knight for sure. I don't want to lose this knight to have also this pawn so close to the queening. So I'm like, okay, I want to prefer to sacrifice this knight, but should I go here or should I go here? And I'm like, okay, if I go here, then he has always this option to push it. So I'm like, okay, I'm going here. He took my knight, and I took the pawn. And I'm like, okay, I'm losing a piece. I'm losing a whole rook, but it's still not that obvious though. I can try. So here he went king h5, and I went king g6. Very sneaky move, because first, of course, I'm targeting the knight, but that wasn't my idea actually. My idea was to close his king as much as possible and then threaten some checkmate, but he didn't fall for it, of course. He prevented this with rook to f8. Now I check him on g4, because then at least I know I have a draw. To my huge surprise, he took my pawn. And I'm like, I know you're winning an exchange still, but this is the position I was fighting for the whole game actually. And I'm like, okay, if you want to play like this, let's go. King h4. I played king g2. That was my idea, to make him exchanging the rooks, but actually I didn't want to exchange the rooks. I took the e6 pawn, and from this moment I knew I'm winning. But he made me think I'm winning much harder actually, because he sacrificed his rook. And I'm like, what is going on here? Completely lost position. I'm winning this game. Of course, I took this rook. He is taking this knight, and I'm taking the pawn. So he's going with the rook to protect the d5 pawn, but I'm taking the h6 pawn. He's going with the king, and I'm just a4. And here he resigned, and I'm like, that would be it. That would be it, basically. Thank you, guys.